Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Crow's Call Tarot. Today we're going to be doing a flip through and review of the Mind's Eye Tarot by Olivia Rose, published by US Game Systems. Here's the box featuring some of the wonderful art. So we've got a pretty thick booklet here, which we'll take a quick look at. So it has acknowledgements, an introduction, and then it just jumps straight in to the major and minor arcana. It is fully illustrated, which is awesome, and you get a description of the card as well as upright and reversed meanings. Not too many meanings, keeps it pretty basic, but definitely enough to get you started. And here are the cards. Cute little ribbon. So these cards are gilded, sorry. And they are thin-ish cardstock, but bounces back. I don't know if you can see, but in the light it looks like some kind of canvas or linen finish, but it feels quite smooth. It doesn't feel as textured as a lot of other linen decks. So let's jump straight into the flip through. So we have the Fool here. And immediately this deck is quite striking. You can see here the backs are reversible for those of you who read reversals, so that's great. This artwork is just, in my opinion, top tier. It's mixed media, including tea, which I found really cool. Really neat Emperor card there. Yeah, right off the bat, this deck is very visually striking. It has a vibrant but sort of muted palette to it. I think it's nicely balanced. And I'm already getting some intuitive hits off it. It's a lovely hermit card. It has this kind of like almost weird core, dream core aesthetic with all the eyes floating around. Very surreal. So if you're into that kind of imagery, this would be an awesome deck. It seems to mainly gravitate towards feminine energies right now. I know there are some males in this deck, but I believe it's majority feminine. Look at that awesome Devil card. So cool. I think this is a great deck for intuitive reads and imagination. Like, there's so much to see, so many things to pick up on. And every time you look at a card, you're gonna see something different. Like, look at that intricate line work. This is the card that was featured on the box, the Moon. This is loosely based on the RWS system, but some cards do deviate. Onto cups, which look like little shells. Three of Cups, definitely having the you can't sit with us vibe, which I love. I think that's awesome. Yeah, the line work on this is just so intricate and detailed. Very beautiful. And yes, very rider based. You can pick up on that imagery quite quickly, along with your intuition for sure. This is a deck that I was very excited for when I saw it was coming out. It took me a while to get to it, but I'm glad I did. 10 of Cups, you can see, looks like male representation there. I think that's an oarfish that the lady is grabbing onto for the Knight of Cups. Very appropriate. And then we have the King. On to Wands now. Now with this deck, I think, along with the guidebook, if this would be your first deck, you could get along all right with it. Some of the imagery, your eye bounces around and doesn't really know where to look. Like, for example, in the Three of Wands, they're back here, they're not at the forefront. So you might not catch that immediately. But that's not a bad thing. This style of art is definitely out there and wants your eye to wander around the cards to find little things. There's 6 of Wands on a beetle. So cute. A lot of movement in this deck. A lot of swirly lines. Just leading your eye around everywhere. I especially like it in the hair. Sitting on top of a mushroom. Awesome. Some fairy-like imagery in here. Onto swords. And if you're acquainted with the rider system, you're gonna have no trouble with this deck. I think it gets the point across quite quickly. The vibes are, in my opinion, immaculate. I just love the vibe of this deck. It's almost a little unsettling, but like in the best of ways. I don't mean that as an insult. I think it's just this dreamlike world that you're exploring with these cards. And some dreams are good and some dreams aren't so good. Like, she even looks quite peaceful in this 10 of Swords card, which is interesting. Lady riding on a crow or a raven. Awesome. We love that for this channel. This is a deck that I thought from the preview images I saw that I would like, but I can definitely say I am fully in love with this deck. Like, this is just, it's not what I wanted at the time, but it became what I needed. I just think it's so cool. Just the richness of the colors, the attention to detail. the obvious nods to the Rider deck while keeping its own identity, I think is really cool. Because some decks, I think, stick too close to the Rider and kind of lose their identity in the process, but this is not one of those decks. This deck screams its identity at you, and its identity is awesome, in my opinion, at least. So we'll see how it shuffles. Now, I do not riffle shuffle my cards because I like to keep them in pretty pristine condition, but overhand shuffle just fine, maybe a little slippery. But yeah, it's fine. Definitely slide around a little bit, but nothing too bad. So yeah, that was the Mind's Eye Tarot. Let me know in the comments what you think of it. Is this something you'd add to your collection? Is it something you have in your collection already? Or would you pass on it? Thank you very much for being here, and I will see you in the next review.